Alright, we're gonna get started. Yeah, thanks everyone for coming out this weekend. I think I had a pretty great time. I don't know about you guys, but yeah. I just want to take a chance again to thank our sponsors. So we have some cool swag for you after the presentations at the back. There are these laser etched mason jars with the Random Acts of Kindness logo on them. They're pretty cool, and that's thanks to 12 Dots. They were supposed to be t-shirts, but there were some misadventures with those, so we didn't get them in time. Bows for the beer, which you can have a glass of after the presentations again if you want. Bridge head for the coffee, PB02 for 10 of the 45 servings of tacos that we had. And some other stuff too, and then Lodestar for the rest of the tacos and stuff. Mike in the studio for the wine on Friday night. The fish market did those pulled pork sandwiches, which were pretty tasty. Shopify for letting us use the space. And Love Taking for the sandwiches yesterday. So, yeah. And I wanted to thank everyone who helped make this happen. So we have Brett and Brandon and Lisa who are here. And Christian and Liz who aren't here at the moment, but they helped out getting us all the food and stuff. So yeah, the final product presentations, you got 5 minutes. I'm not going to really be enforcing that time limit, but try to keep it short-ish. And the first people we have starting today are the Art Engine folks. There are no reservations today.
Now, so the first thing Wesley told me that I had to do was make a logo, and lucky for us, we had already started with making the logo. We decided to have interaction with QR codes so we could connect directly with our equipment to the reservations. So just a recap for those of you who don't remember what we're doing, we wanted to create a reservation system so that you could check in, check out, and reserve. So by connecting QR codes, we were able to have a direct idea of who had equipment out. So this is our logo. The Art Engine logo, for those of you who don't know Art Engine very well, is the one that is inside, which is red, and it works. So I'm just going to give you a brief of what we did. We started off with, this is quoted the photo, don't mind it. But these are just examples of how we started off mapping out what we were going to do. They're basically mini screenshot kind of things of each of how the app, or not app, sorry, we chose to do a mobile site or a site that could also be mobile friendly. So these are just examples. Until we created more of a mock version, including we have onion layers on the bottom. So I kept talking about how we wanted to get a core idea, but had all these other ideas and to extend further from it. So we're hoping to expand the project. We aren't finished what we wanted to finish, but Art Engine has donated memberships to my team so that I continue working on the project. So it'd be good fun. So pass it off to the guys.
So yeah, we fell a bit behind. We ran into some technical troubles. We originally tried to, we tried to use Polymer, which was announced a couple days ago. So we burned a couple hours on that. That didn't quite work out. So then we were like,
Okay, why don't you cut again?
yeah, it looks so pretty. So then we decided, me and Patrick, we both have Rails and Angular experience, and Anton also has some Rails experience. So Anton took the back end, me and Pat just fiddled around with Angular, bootstrap for a while. We ended up using Angular Strap, which is kind of butt to set up, but we eventually got some stuff working. It's not quite all put together yet, but the basic foundation is there, which we're pretty happy with. And we just need to tweak it a bit longer and working. So go through some of the slides. That's just the reservation stuff. Some basic things. Reserve some stuff. Do some searching. I've already list some stuff for you. It's just an example search.
Just to clarify, we do not have 3 laser cutters.
Laser cutter number 1, cute stuff. Yeah, that's basically it. I think we're all eager to continue this project past the soccer development. But I contribute to it and make it what we want it to be.
The idea was getting the core stuff done and then work on the pretty stuff later. So that was our idea, which I think it kind of works, and we're really set up to continue doing more really cool things within it. And then eventually we'll get something up and running. So I'm really excited. Yay! Any questions? Have we stayed within our 5 minutes?
I like your name tag.
Thank you. Yeah, so as a hacker break, and because I was not as useful part of the day, at the end of the day, I decided to have a craft break, and I ran over to get laser headphone name tags, just so that it would be something that I could contribute to the team, morale and stuff. Is there a question there?
Are you going to push this about after the weekend, or are you going to solve it easy for the open source?
It's already pushed on GitHub. I wouldn't recommend trying to do anything with it immediately, but we're hoping that we'll have to a place where we'll be ready for like contributors and stuff to jump in and like do little things. Just wait for the readme. Once you see a readme there, anyone else?
Thank you guys very much. Is there a team that wants to go next? Otherwise, I'm just going to pick one. Oxfam.
We'll start. Did you want to go?
They volunteered, or at least one of them did.
Voluntold.
Oh, you'll do one slide?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. So we were team Oxfam, but not really Oxfam because I'm representing the coalition, even though I am from Oxfam. Just to remind you, my name is Melanie, and what I was trying to do was, so here's my elevator pitch. Women have lost ground in Canada. Funding for advocacy groups have declined, the National Child Care Program is scrapped, and the wage gap is widening. So that's why 15 Canadian NGOs got together and wanted to reverse the trend. The upcoming federal election next year, although we're not sure exactly when it will be, is an opportunity to hold political parties to account for advancing these issues. So from Vancouver to Winnipeg to Thunder Bay to Mountain to St. John's, we want to build a national conversation around gender equality. Oh, okay, good. So the goal, what I had stated Friday for my goals for this weekend, which we've actually met, was to find a way to crowdsource women's rights issues and use technology to connect people to politics. In the lead up to the election, with hopes of calling for national televised debate on issues. So when we started the project on Friday night, I realized how broad of a scope my project was. So it was still kind of in a concept idea phase, not as focused as some of the other projects. I think maybe that's why it didn't attract hardcore people who wanted to do hardcore programming. So it was much more in the design phase. So what happened is that we did end up having a team with very good skills in design and user experience. And we did build a dynamic and engaging platform, which is what I wanted to get. And Lacey will run you through that.
Sweet. Okay. That's the one here. So introducing Voices. So Voices is a simple landing page which attaches onto the end of your campaign. So this campaign is called Making Women Count. So makingwomencount.voices.org. Let's take a look. So we start out with the landing page, which is very simple. We have the call to actually join the conversation on gender equality, and then a video at the top, which is very bold statement, trying to frame what exactly are we looking for. So we're trying to collect information and the issues on that people care about. So we've created this platform where people can go see the issues that other people care about and then add their own. And so they come in, they have the option to record a quick video, take a picture, and then tell a bit about what is their opinion on the issue, what is important to them. And then they input their postal code so we know they're like pro writing. They have the option to share it to a few places, and then it gets posted onto the voices.org campaign website. There, once that's done, they have the option to stay informed, back the project, and then download the supporter pack in order to further engage with the project. So it's really just a collective of all the issues that are important and to bring forward, and it gives them an opportunity to follow what's going on with the issue. So the platform really allows you to dive in and get information on what's important in this. What are the facts? What are the key pieces to the campaign? And we've actually already started collecting video content. This is a woman that really liked what we're going for, really felt strongly, so she sent a video just to kick off the platform. So I'm going to head back now to.
Yeah, just a couple of notes on that. The reason we went in video, that's something that I had determined before, is because we're calling for a televised debate. We wanted to use a medium that kind of illustrated what we were hoping to get. So that's where the video platform came in. And we also did, in our process, we did wireframing, we did all sorts of stuff that I learned this weekend. We also tested out some stuff. So at first we thought of getting a really compelling question on the website that would, what we had picked was, are you better off than your mother? So that kind of, catches you in. What we found though when we sent that out is that people were giving us videos with answers that we actually, it's not the information that we were looking for, right? It was too broad, like the issues were not political. So we kind of did a little bit of testing, so that was also a very interesting dynamic there. What's the next one? Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry, I did have something else to say. I know I'm over 5 minutes. So the next step, so this might not be built from the back end exactly, but this is exactly what I needed, because I will then be able to take this and present something that's visual and a concept that is more concrete to the coalition, and then we can build on that and see the next steps. And we did discuss kind of back end stuff, but this is exactly what I needed, so I'm very satisfied with what we got out. Thank you. Oh, does anyone have any questions? Or any issues on women's rights? Conversation. Yes. Yeah, there will be a sort of a vetting process that will have to happen, obviously. So, I mean, if the videos are pertinent, this is a non-partisan campaign, so the videos don't have to support a particular political opinion. I mean, there will be probably terms and conditions around like use of language, use of appropriateness. Yeah, for sure, that there will definitely be.
Yeah, I was thinking more like you're gonna have different shades of the same issues. Like maybe I'll get for this issue.
It will probably.
What we really want to do with this collection is figure out what are the issues in that local area. So it's taking the local stories and kind of building them up. So, we studied a few different visualizations, which were like taking one issue, seeing how many people follow it in that area, and then going globally, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, if 25 people submit kind of the same comment, that's awesome. That's what we want to hear.
Okay, but they'll be from different locations.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the whole idea behind getting the postal codes is that we can have, because it's tied, so it's kind of a politically tied campaign, so then we can, present the data in a way that shows different areas, maybe clusters, show what issues are more important in certain areas, and then maybe follow up with, lobbying efforts, so that indicates, which writing people are in, like that kind of, that's the whole idea. And just to add this, so it's kind of like a first step because we don't know when the election will be exactly. If it's in the spring, then this is like, we'll have to go a lot faster. But the idea is to start identifying the issues, getting people engaged, and then calling for a national televised debate when the writ drops and we know when the elections will be.
Whatever platform you have is on, it's not Facebook.
It could be. So actually one really interesting thing. So it will be making women count.voices.org. The name is a bit of still a question mark, but what we're thinking is to build a platform that could be used for further campaigns that we want to do. For example, controlarms.voices.org, like if we're looking at arms trade or other types of campaigns. So I think we're looking for sustainability and scalability. Yeah, two keywords, right? So yeah, sustainability and scalability in something that could move forward.
Okay.
Well, our discussion on the back end, the advice that I got was to build it, was to build it on WordPress. So it's something, simple and easy to use is key for us because it's a joint campaign and NGOs generally have limited resources. So something that's easy to manage, that we can somewhat customize for ourselves. So WordPress with, I don't know, maybe you can get more details on that part.
That's we can talk those later.
So we have notes on that part. So one of the ideas that I was maybe thinking was to get approval, maybe bring it a bit further and then come back to other Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Oh, yes.
Are you going to get the scalability
if you have to credit?
If you have to watch a video that somebody posts before you go ahead and how are you? That's going to be a lot of time.
Well, apparently there is a program that.
Perhaps watch the videos wasn't quite what we were going for in saying. It's collecting them because we're not. I don't think. At this point, it's figuring out what people are saying about it, and part of that is you're seeing what people are posting, and it's similar to with other social media networks. If you look at what's being posted, what's being talked about, and follow suit with that. There's going to be people that are to either side of it, but that's important. It's hearing your voice.
I think what I understood is if someone has to watch each video to get to make sure that there's not inappropriate content or something, what we were talking about was a voice-to-text function that could then identify, keywords, or we could flag certain words that we know right away, like this video says, the F word, for example, or something. So we can't post this one. So we will definitely be looking at technologies that will, no one's going to sit there and watch. If we get 5 videos and it's not a success, that's okay. But if we get, which we are sure to get with this amazing platform, thousands of videos, we'll definitely have to look at a solution to be able to do that. For sure. Good question. Okay, great. Thanks.
Thank you. So next up, any volunteers? Yeah, mustache for kids. Right? Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to pick up the presentation where I left off on Friday. So, we're Sessions for Kids. We were working over there, and we are Spencer, Sharon, Brandon, Vicky, and Brandon. And we have nice diverse teams who were able to tackle the project from two different angles. In fact, what we ended up doing was just adjusting adjusting our approach and what we could do based on our team. So we started with some sketches and discussing our approach, and what we did end up on though is that we would work on a web app and front end with an iOS app to an API. But yeah, like everyone else did, I sketched out some ideas, data model, some screens. And so like I was saying, we came up with a multi-tiered approach. Yeah. We had different teammates working on different parts of the project. And before we jump to the next screen, okay, now actually we'll run through. This was the technology. We'll come back to a bit of a demo and our approach in a second. But first thing I just want to do a big reveal. The design, okay, the design process. Revealed, as I said, with drum rolls. And so, Sharon, do you want to walk through the process?
I started off with a picture of like these cute kids with mustaches, and Gretchen was one of the guys, that's cute, but you know, mustaches for kids is not really about kids. More the guys want to wear mustaches. So they pointed me in the direction of these fabulous photos that they have in the group, and that pretty much changed the design direction. We went to see a little bit more men, but funny, beige palette with the orange for action. So that's how it kind of evolved.
And some of the fantastic logo.
Yeah, you know,
Logo. And I think this is not. Yeah, I mean, I think like this is awesome. I mean, like it's a great kind of brand, and I can see this. This has legs for sure. Like, you'll see this in November when they roll out our campaign. And then ran through some more times. So next couple of screens are just homepage. Most of the homepage. It's going through, and we'll do the demo in a second. This will be a profile page, and so the homepage leads the users in, and this is the page where, as I was talking about on Friday, this is the page that the grower just can be proud of. See that lots of evidence of their success in raising money and contact. And a little bit of some more sort of legacy information on how well they've done over the years and other growers. Oh, and the iOS app, which Vicky will show you. Actually, we want to jump to the app now?
Yeah.
I'll have to exit out of the presentation.
So this is the app. See, there's the login page. Enter into passwords and all secure stuff, but you can log in with your email, which is how currently the users are identifying themselves. And when you log in, you can choose which campaign you want to view. So, for example, this is Rex. He has a 2011 campaign. You can see kind of his progress.
the mustache in the middle, I know it's divided right down the middle right now, but it's actually a progress meter. So he's reached 56% of his goal. You can see how much he's raised and how much he's trying to raise from this campaign. And that will continue to fill up as he raises more money. And then at the bottom, there's some kind of actions that he can take. He can raise more money by emailing his friends, posting on Facebook, posting on Twitter. So, for example, if you want to email, pull up the email right there. We'll do that right now. There's also
There's a mustache there.
Okay, so in the profile, you can actually edit bio message, which is what will show up on his homepage when potential donors go and look at his page to see why would I donate to this. So this page is actually what the grower would be sharing with their friends to try to solicit donations. You can also edit the photo, copy the photo. Then there's also the photos, which are kind of meant as a progress for the mustache growing. You can see Brett's progress here from the beginning to. You can also add a new photo. Picture.
It's good enough.
Great. I think that's it for the app.
Sure. And that's all. So the app is actually running live. So it's we're able to get an API built on top of the data model, after data model. So all of that is live. It can be live. It's actually saved to rhok.nforkiottawa.org. And so we also have a web app built on the same data model. Samir, do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So basically, I was just working on the back end. It's taking a bit more time to actually get working, so we're not quite there where I want it to be. But it's using the JSF framework, and it's going to be using the library Prime Faces, which is a UI overlay for the client side. Well, some aspects for like autocomplete. So you can search somebody's name, and then you'll have the icon of their image, of their avatar show up. And once again, so as you type, you'll be able to get a list of all the people, and it will show you the avatar of the person you're looking at as well. But again, that took a bit more time, so that will be implemented later. What I found is JSF is not really a framework you can develop fast in. So that's what I have to say about that.
We got the bits and pieces of the solution working on rhok.nforkiottawa.org, Tomcat server and all that, but it was, it's not, needs so few more data for it. Last thing, I guess, I want to show, just go to the browser, I guess. And then I just want to show some front-end development progress. rhok.nforkiottawa.org /basics.
Okay, so yeah, you want to realize
Okay. So Brandon built this.
Great. So it's just a basic responsive front end. Well, right now there's no back-end connection yet, but we use the Yeoman generator to get started. So we're using Grunt just to help automate a lot of our processes. So we can use SAS, and all the images are automatically compressed and stuff like that. But very basic from my point of view right now, just because still waiting for the data to come through from the back end, so I can interact with it with some JS and make some stuff happen. But this guy we decided is our big mascot here, the mustache. I don't know his actual name, but they're slowly falling down as you and so we just got responsive grid and like a nice responsive framework already built in right now. So It should scale to pretty much any device, and it's a beautiful design, so it's super fun to build the layout for it. That's all I have to say.
So from my point of view, I think it was a lot of fun. We got to investigate a lot of new ideas for Must Action for Kids. So we're going to be, Must Action for Kids will be running in November, and I'm hoping that I can get some of this implemented for the new campaign. And with the hopes of setting up and molding it so that it can be reused by others. And you can all today somehow. Any questions? Yes, I expect everyone here that's willing and able to. We have had female participants. There's nothing holding anybody back. Maybe have that pitch, but any questions? Cool. Okay, that's it. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Next up, laser and code.
So this is what we started with yesterday. We had new goals, and we had only 3 people working, so we reached some of those goals. For example, one of the things that we wanted to make was to have featured posts, so people can pay more and go up there, have more visibility. We did that part. So let's feature this post. Pay for it. And then here it is. So this is from the user's perspective. Also, if you want to create feature posts from the admin panel, you can also do that too. It's custom here, but for example, let's feature this one. It doesn't ask for payment, of course, because this is from the admin panel. And also another annoyance that we had was having rich text editor. Not having a rich text editor on the description, and tackle that one too. So now people can modify their descriptions much easier. Is there anything else? Oh, also we're working on the job seeker for bottom still. There's a few other features that we want to implement. But I find that the hardest thing was to maintain the code that we wrote back at home. So we have to go back to that again and change some stuff. But well, we mentioned stuff, so I guess.
So basically, we reached most of our goals, and now we're able to have this job board be even more functional for job posters and help us make a little bit of extra money at it. So I just want to say thank you to both of you from Ladies Learning Code, and you helped us reach our goals this weekend, and I'm really excited about it, and so is everybody else in Toronto. So thank you.
And last but not least, we got Amnesty. Oh, and Code for Kids. They were nice enough to me, so I'm not sure I know what to say.
I want to be the robot.
Okay, so when we came up here last time, we didn't have a name for the project. Now we have a name. Advisor. After Jordy or Gary, International Social Order Recorder, or Advisor to Superior Factors. Okay, so a little bit of a definition. Social media monitoring for protest-like events. That's what we wanted to do. That's sort of our aim. So we did a little research. And for context, there are some existing tools for activists in protest situations. So Amnesty has something called a panic button recently released, and that's an app for Android phones. And if you're being attacked in a protest or anywhere really, you jam your power button repeatedly, and it'll send out alerts to your predefined contacts saying that you are in a panic situation and you need help. So Amnesty has developed a sort of personal tool for protest situations, and we wanted to build something that was sort of a global tool for protest situations. So other projects that we looked at, there's a wristband with a GPS in it and that can send SMS called Natalia. So similar idea, it gets ripped off, it sends a panic alert. And then we looked at something called Synki, which is like a data recording protest mapping application from a few years ago. We also looked at some social data monitoring tools. Data Miner is a big one, popular one, and Twitter Explorer, which is kind of neat. So we looked at some images, and they all kind of do the same thing. The Data Miner and Twitter Explorer, they look for trends in social data, which is what we're trying to do. Okay, so strategy. Basically, there's sort of 5 steps here. We wanted to record geographic time and social data so that we're able to make a relationship between things that are happening on the ground and the people who are there and what they're saying. We're going to store that data, so database. Got to serve it, and we wanted to serve it with a JSON feed and in spreadsheets, so that it was available in ways that basically anyone could make use of. And then make use of in things like Panda or R. So Panda is a suite for analyzing data, it's free source. And R is a data analysis language. So serve the data in ways that anyone can use again. And then we also created some, some of the work that we did is we created some maps and charts and sheets from the data that we got. So we actually did a lot of this work. Which maybe I'll get Craig to talk about.
So we're using Ruby to pull tweets, putting it into MySQL database. Then we're running another script that's taking them from doing like a time bit of modeling. We like to do a bit more modeling on the data, but then pushing it to, and this is updated live, pushing to Google Docs. Yeah, and the way we're selecting the tweets is by picking an area. This is for the pride break, we'd like to go along with this a lot more of the modeling and get more of an idea on what's happening on the ground through that. The reason we're choosing to push to something like Google Docs is it's very, very difficult to attack Google. And it's very difficult to block Google. So this makes it accessible to people on the ground, even if they, even if there's some experience with it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that didn't work.
Okay, so you can see a nice little word cloud from some of the words that we collected, so there's things you can do with this. And we made a web app, which I can't demo for you, it's on another computer, unfortunately. But you get an idea of, we can create sort of clusters of activity and display tables and tweets related to what's going on. in a format that basically anybody with a web browser can go and look at to get an idea, or an image, an idea, a picture of what's going on. So all this work's available online. We have a website, amnesty.io, and links to the GitHub repos are there, and you can follow us on Twitter as well. So amnesty.io. You guys have anything you want to add? Any questions?
Clusters. That was real data. The picture that you showed.
Yeah.
The previous slide.
Yeah.
What's like the level between like the red and the yellow, like the color ranges? What's the difference?
Actually, we only have data work with this morning, and I haven't done it work to put on the work on it. So this is only mock-up over top. But they said that after today, I'll continue to work on it, and I'll figure out
It's still going to be like a color coordinated.
Yes. So like a heat map. So we're looking to go to like a heat map and a pivot table. Those are sort of the two endpoints. We like to have a pivot table for relationships between, say, users and tweets that are happening for proximity. So people are tweeting this word plus this word, or this word in this specific area, this very specific geographic area. So
we're putting up bit one constraints as well, so grouping as geographic points in basically subspace interesting necessary as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
This is more of a comment question. It's really interesting because we also try to think of map to represent like what comment that's in certain information. It's just interesting to see that you're marketing that kind of representation.
Yeah, maps are tough at a large scale if you're looking from like up in space. A map is really kind of misleading because you don't often get a picture of population density. So you can have a very small area with high density, and it looks like there's a time factor there, but compared to other places with less population density. So maps are tough, but at a really like street scale or neighborhood scale, they're very useful. We have previous projects where we use maps, and we struggle because the Yukon has nobody. There's still tweets coming from there, and it's like maybe one of the most active areas, but compared to Toronto, it's like that, right? So one of the aspects that we're talking about is weighing how do we know the value of the tweet, and that's something we'll work on in the future. Maps can kind of hide that value filtering. So very better perceiving function. Great, thanks. Follow along if you can, and we're happy for any contributions you want to get involved in. We'll keep working on this one. Thanks.
And this time, last but not least, code for kids.
Okay, so just a bit of a recap of what we wanted to do. So Code for Kids is an organization that aims to kind of bridge present children with the needs of the future. And one of those things is teaching kids how to code. So what we've done here is we created a game that has a basic Ruby backend in Sinatra, which allowed us to really easily create a framework that would work for our needs. And then we used a JavaScript library called Phaser.js, which allowed us to do the game engine in the front end. So as you can see, when we started, Ruby thinks, where am I? Maybe that goes can help me. And then it goes, says, puts hello, which is the Ruby command to actually say hello. And you can see it says hello. And then you can see if Ruby doesn't say something that's quite right, you get that response. Versus if Ruby says something right, then you get a nice positive answer. So what we're really hoping for this is to get kids involved, really on a more of a level that's at theirs. So kids love video games, and that's one of the mediums we'd love to talk with them, or engage with them. And yeah, so this is the first part of the first level. We haven't quite gotten too much further than this, just because there's some complicated data stuff. Do you want to talk about the data parts of the level? But basically, what we wanted to do was make a generic data file where you just give it this layout, and it'll generate a level for you. And we spent quite a bit of time on that. We had Jordan over here who did some of the stories, so she wants to talk about like what we were doing the video game. But here.
Sure. So I'm Jordan. I did not do any of this beautiful visual design or any of the back end, but John certainly did. I got involved in terms of curricular development as part of the team. So effectively, this is a game that's going to be targeted at approximately a 9-10-year-old age group. So we wanted to make sure that what we were teaching them was going to be age appropriate. It was still going to be fun and engaging as well. And that would fit really as a game that happened to teach you ruby as you go along. So we're the robot as she jumps around the world collecting rubies, and then meeting various characters and interacting with them. She'll have to use Ruby to solve different puzzles, and there's various levels of prompting as well. So eventually they'll have little X bubbles and dot bubbles that can jump around. She'll be collecting the rubies see up there. And so using things in Ruby to solve puzzles and to move forward in the game. So it's very much game-centered. So I'm very impressed by how far it came. It's a very big and ambitious project, of course. So lots to be done, but already, as you can see, she can run around and chat.
So the game's actually available on the Code for Kids GitHub page, so it's github.com/code4kids/rubiesadventure. It's all up there, obviously open. And we have it available at rubiesadventure.code4kids.ca. As we move along, we have some refactoring to do just to get it into a spot that's really solid. And what I understand, most of the team wants to continue working on this as we go. Is there any questions or comments? Oh, thanks.
Well, thanks again, everybody, for coming out and making this weekend what it is. Because without you, it would just be me sitting here in the lounge phone. I think this was fun for exciting for you folks here. On your way out, we'll be handing out the mason jars. And yeah, hope you had a great weekend and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Oh, two last things. If the project leads could email me the GitHub source codes, that would be great. And the final thing is, sorry, what's we doing next? Susan is going to be bringing over the food that we have left over to the mission. If someone has a car that can help her transport it, that would be really great. Yeah. So yeah, sorry to check, but if you have a car and you'd like to help out, please see Susan. Yeah, have a great week, Sunday.